Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about M. Night Shyamalan's newest thriller film, Trap, which is about a father and daughter who attend a concert that's actually a trap to capture a serial killer on the loose. But to our surprise, the father is the serial killer, which honestly is a cool idea, but people were really upset about how they revealed that in the trailer because that would have been a really cool plot twist, figuring out that the father is actually the serial killer. But the whole idea of the film is that we're supposed to know that he's the serial killer, and that's actually what kind of adds to the comedic beats of the film. So Josh Hartnett plays Cooper, who is the father of Riley, played by Ariel Donahue. And throughout this movie, we're following Josh Hartnett's character go around trying to figure out the best way to not get caught and to get out without a trace. Surprisingly, I had a really great time with this movie. The best parts of this movie, in my opinion, was the acting and the cinematography. What I like so much about the cinematography is that all the shots were pretty much angled so that Josh Hartnett's character looked like he towered over everyone. Which, Josh Hartnett in real life is 6'3", so you don't really need camera angles to show that, but it was really suspenseful having that be a particular shot that they were going throughout the entire film. But that sort of adds to the satirical nature of this film because it really is funny. And it's the idea that he is so clearly, obviously, the serial killer, but people are just not, like, they're just overlooking all of the big deals. One thing I will say, though, is that M. Night Shyamalan still has that problem with writing dialogue, except for, I think it works in this movie's favor just because of how awkward some of the scenes are with how our characters are supposed to be acting. Like, Josh Hartnett's character in some scenes is just acting so blatantly obvious with his, his attitude, his smiling, his, being overly happy when he's trying to put on a fake face. So the dialogue works in those senses. But in other senses, they don't always work. They always seem a little bit unutilized. Salika, who plays Lady Raven in this film, is actually M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and something cute about how this movie got made is that M. Night Shyamalan wrote the film because he wanted his daughter to have a concert film because she is a singer in real life. And she has a pretty big part in this film, and she does pretty well, I'll say. But obviously the main star of this film is Josh Hartnett, and Josh Hartnett brings it and kills it. In my opinion, Josh Hartnett does give one of the better performances of the year in this film, especially in the third act, which, by the way, the third act of this film is probably the most entertaining of the entire movie. I wasn't particularly sure about this movie at first. Like, when I watched the trailer, I wasn't hooked by it at all. I thought it was very odd, the decisions that they were going with, and since M. Night Shyamalan wasn't really impressing me as of late, I wasn't really looking forward to this too much. But I always love giving M. Night Shyamalan a chance because I think his filmmaking style is very unique and different. So I went into this movie very open-minded, and I came out really liking it. I think it was very entertaining. It was way funnier than I thought it was going to be. Visually, it was a visual marvel. Like I said, the cinematography is great. I mean, the way they use color, the way they do shots, it was all very intriguing to me. And it pulled me into the story. The pacing was great. It really just went through really well. I will say it did I could kind of feel the runtime in some parts, but it moved so well from each big point of the film. As far as M. Night Shyamalan films go, I think this one is definitely up there in some of my favorite Shyamalan films. Now, it's not incredible by all means, but it's a pretty damn fun film. And M. Night Shyamalan clearly knew how to go around making this unique and different to his other films. And one thing that I really can respect about his filmmaking is that every single one of his films are pretty much different from the last. He's a family man. He loves including his families in his project, with just producing his other daughter's film, The Watchers, which actually does make a little cameo in this film, or Easter egg. It's just in the background, one of the posters in this film. So he's just a family man. He likes including his family, and I can respect that too. Luckily, in this film, the nepotism part didn't overshine the actual quality of the film. It just built onto it, and I was entertained throughout the entire thing. So if you've been really hesitant about going to see this movie in theaters, I definitely recommend going to see it. I will warn you that it is camp. I mean, it is very quirky in its comedy, but not so quirky where I cringed. It was just like, this is just silly. Like, it's not supposed to be silly, but it is silly. But once we hit that third act, it gets serious. Josh Hartnett's acting abilities really come out on play, and I was thoroughly enjoying myself throughout the entire movie. This movie reminded me of why I like M. Night Shyamalan. So I definitely recommend going to see it in theaters. Anyways, that'll be the end of my review for Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's newest thriller film. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'm curious, what is your favorite M. Night Shyamalan film? And what is your least favorite M. Night Shyamalan film? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that'll bring us to the end of the video. I appreciate every single one of you. And remember, your movie moment is right around the corner.